radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Yeah, headphone cable got tangled up. You saw that today. It is Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Today is Monday, March 30th, 2020. That's right. We are broadcasting live. Live 90 days into the new year. Only 286 days left. From a bunker somewhere in the middle of beautiful downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world. All across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? Hope you had a great weekend. Staying at home. Practicing that social distancing. Yeah, man. All right. Tonight, kicking off a brand new week here on Fade to Black. It's part 3 of our Quittspiracy. It is Quittspiracy 3 tonight with Jason Quitt. And tonight, our focus is on the coronavirus. That's right. Coronavirus conspiracies all night long tonight. Now, also, if you have, and we're going to be going through, we've got a long list. Oh, man, the conspiracies are running all over the internet, aren't they? When it comes to coronavirus, COVID-19. So we're going to go through all of that tonight. And if you have a coronavirus conspiracy, later on tonight, we'll be taking your phone calls. 747-228-2051. If you have a coronavirus conspiracy, certainly if we haven't listed it and there's one you want to add to it, also, we'll give you the pipe rating. Remember, 1 pipe, 2 pipes, 3 pipes, 4. Okay? All right? Oh, man. Oh, what a week we've got coming up. Tomorrow night, right here, live from New York City, Mitch Horowitz. And that is tomorrow night. And Mitch, if you're listening right now, Mitch sent us in some new pictures. And he said, Jimmy, he texted me earlier today. I know you're not busy, man. Can you get my new pictures up? I was like, dude, oh, man. So by the show tomorrow night, Mitch, I promise, those new pics of your mug will be up on Fade to Black. Okay, I will take care of it. But that's tomorrow night, live from New York City, Mitch Horowitz. And then Wednesday night, Andrea Perrin. Can you believe it? Andrea Perrin. Right here on Fade to Black for the first time. You've seen the movie The Conjuring. That is all about her and her family. So that is Wednesday night. And what we're going to be covering on Wednesday night is the story behind The Conjuring that you've never heard and what may really be going on. This is an exclusive event on Wednesday night. You're not going to want to miss that. I can't wait. It's going to be a great conversation, and she is very, very cool. Andrea Perrin, Wednesday night. Thursday night, another Fader night with open lines all night long. And this Thursday, we are going to be giving away four FadeToBlack memberships to those in need and who are staying at home right now, and they need to stay informed and get that knowledge on. But right now, you know what I mean? We're in the middle of a worldwide crisis. So we're here to help those out there that are in need, that can't get a membership right now. Okay, so we're going to give away 4 memberships, and we're going to be doing this for 4 memberships per night, 4 Fader nights in a row. Love that number, 4. 4. All right. You can follow me right now on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Like my shirt? This is my staycation shirt. I'm going to wear another one tomorrow. I'm going to wear another staycation because we're on staycation right now. All right? Man, this shirt's nice. Comfortable. It's comfortable. Today, Rita listened to Frank Zappa's Chic Your Booty and Frank Zappa's Joe's Garage. And unfortunately for me, and I told her, I said, look, you're going to go and listen to this. You're going to find out where I get all of my secret material from. All of my Jimmyisms are going to be revealed to you. And when I do those things on the air, you're going to know where I stole them from now. Well, that didn't stop her. Nope. The secret is out. Chic Your Booty and Joe's Garage, volumes 1 and 2. I'm just saying, secret's out. If you ever... there are those out there right now that listen to Frank Zappa and hear me do things on the air, and you guys know where I get it from, and we all laugh together. There's no big reveal. You don't have to blow my cover or throw me under the bus. But for me, all right, I'm just going to leave it right there. Any questions or comments during the show tonight? Please use hashtag, oh my God, Joe's Garage, my favorite Zappa song. See? Exactly. You Fader knots know what time it is. Tampa Rick, that is an amazing. You guys get the Frank Zappa isms, don't you? You get it. The Central Scrutinizer. All right. She said, naturally, I had never heard Zappa before I found you out 20 years ago. Oh, man. God, I love Frank Zappa so much. You know what? Okay, so of course there's Chic Your Booty, right? Joe's Garage. There are those. Overnight Sensations. You know, these are great albums. But One Size Fits All. Ooh, that's the album most people don't talk about. And you go and listen to One Size Fits All, beginning to end, nonstop. That is all Jimmy all the time right there. Evelyn, a modified dog. That's right. Okay. All right. Where am I at? The Sandbox on Twitter is hashtag F2B. Come and hang out with us there. We have 2 chat rooms open. One over at Spreaker. Hello to everybody in Spreaker right now. I'll just take a quick glance. J. Ron. Laura Terzo. What does that say? The Growl 420? That's who's hanging out. The Growl. That's funny. All right. You can email throughout the show tonight, Jimmy at jimmychurchradio.com. I want to, a couple of PSAs here, public service announcements. And the first one is this. Right now, we are in a crazy worldwide pandemic, and you need to keep your immune system in check. And I've been talking about this every single night on the show. Now is the time to go and visit getthetea.com. All right? The links are over at jimmychurchradio.com. The banners are right there. Click. Head straight to their specials page. Get your immune system in check now. Click on the banner over on our site. And when you head over, use the promo code FADER, F-A-D-E-R, to get free shipping on all orders over $50. All right? Get your immune system in check. There you go. Also, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time, I will be hosting the Mass Meditation Initiative and their weekly global live stream. And this is for Disclosure Fest Los Angeles. We will be doing this on multiple platforms. We have posted all over our social media for you to check things out. Go and do it now and come and hang out with me tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific time, live. Okay? All right. Now, let's get to the breaking news. We announced it earlier today. Contact in the Desert 2020 has been rescheduled. The new date is June 4th through the 7th, 2021. It's going to be around the same time frame, the same time of year next year, June 4th through the 7th. This year is scheduled for the end of May. This will be the first week of June, June 4th through the 7th, 2021. Same location. It's just moved to next year. For all of your questions about the event, tickets, and accommodations, please visit their website, contactinthedesert.com. All right? It was the right thing to do at the right time, and there you go. All right? It is now moved June 4th through the 7th, 2021. The rest of the breaking news for today: the stock market rose again today, finishing up 691 points at 22,327. Still a few hundred points shy of the market closing on Friday. All right. Let's get to the coronavirus numbers, because today in the United States, the number jumped to 163,882 cases that are active in the United States, with 19,890 added overnight. 3,157 deaths, with 577 reported in the last 24 hours. The active cases in the United States have doubled over the last 4 days. All of it since our last broadcast on Thursday of last week. Let's get to the good news. The United States has received supplies from other countries, including medical equipment from Russia. In California, more than 83,000 people have been tested for the virus, but so far, only about a third of those have received results. 1 million people now have been tested in the United States for the coronavirus. Ford announced that it will produce 50,000 ventilators in Michigan over the next 100 days. 15 tons of medical supplies have arrived in Spain from China. Great news. And Indiana receives their third shipment of medical supplies from the national stockpile. Now, the news is dominating everything right now, and I'm not going to go through every single headline, good or bad, that is currently active. It's daunting at best. But I'll get to the bad news, the highlights of the bad news, which is 78% of Americans right now are under stay-at-home orders. Unemployment claims could hit 4.5 million, and there are reports out there that the number could reach 20 million very soon. There are at least 5,763 cases of coronavirus in California, and about half of those are people between the ages of 18 and 49. Of course, this goes against the grain of all of the announcements coming out of Washington, D.C. New Jersey reports 288 law enforcement officers have COVID-19. And finally, 63 Italian doctors with coronavirus have died. The coronavirus numbers last Thursday, March 26th at 7 p.m. PST. Now listen to this. How quickly things have changed in 4 days. Because last Thursday, our last broadcast, the coronavirus cases worldwide were 531,799 that were up over 63,000 in 24 hours. The deaths last Thursday, 24,071. Recoveries, 123,942, and it was up almost 9,000 in 24 hours. Now, today, March 30th, as of 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, coronavirus cases worldwide, 784,832, up over 250,000 over 4 days. Deaths, 37,790, up over 13,500 over a 4-day period. Recoveries, 165,387, up over 20,000 over 4 days. Now, the numbers today, the real numbers are, there are 581,655 active cases worldwide, and 29,492, 5%, holding steady, are considered serious or critical. 552,163 current cases in the world, 95% are considered mild conditions. All right, let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to today, the one and only Eric Clapton is 75 years old. Black Oak, Arkansas frontman Jim Dandy today is 72. Celine Dion says that she's 52 years old today. I'm not buying into that. And MC Hammer today is 58. Our dead guy's birthday today is, I need a moment of silence, please, Vincent van Gogh. 1853 to 1890, died at the age of 37. His work became known for its emotional intensity and bold use of color years after his death. Known for his landscapes, his self-portraits, and his olive trees that featured depictions of cypresses in different settings, he only sold one painting during his short life. On the 27th of July, 1890, Van Gogh shot himself in the chest. There were no witnesses, and he died 30 hours after the incident. On this day in history, 1981, President Ronald Reagan is shot in his chest outside of Washington, D.C., outside of a Washington, D.C. hotel by a deranged drifter named John Hinckley Jr. Hinckley was obsessed with actress Jodie Foster, and he was trying to impress her. Now, this is the thing. On March 30th, in 1981, I was on spring break in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, at a friend of mine's house in Fort Lauderdale, and I saw the Ronald Reagan breaking news on television. I was walking through the living room and saw it on television. I'll never forget that day. It was absolutely incredible. Fader fact, in the 1980s, there was a conspiracy theory. I'm doing this for Quittspiracy 3 tonight. Okay? In the 1980s, there was a conspiracy theory in the United Kingdom that McDonald's was funding the Irish Republican Army. That's right, the IRA. This was ultimately traced back to a U.S. talk show where the company was praised for its generosity in funding IRAs, or individual retirement accounts. That's right, the other IRA. Tonight, Jason Quitt is here for Quittspiracy 3 Tomorrow night, live from New York City, it's Mitch Horowitz. You're not going to want to miss that. Wednesday night, Andrea Perrin joins us for the first time. And Thursday night is another Fader night with open lines all night long. Now, all right, let me drink out of my Church of Woo mug. There you go. The Church of Woo. I'm Reverend Woo. River Moon Coffee. Fade to Black blend. That's right. Go to rivermooncoffee.com. Click on the banners at jimmychurchradio.com. It'll take you straight to Fade to Black blend. Use the promo code F2B blend, and you will get 15% off of your entire order right now. Go and do it. Best coffee in the world. No question about it. If you're at home right now listening to me, right? You need to be drinking Fade to Black blend. That's it. It's the best coffee in the world. All right. Right now, today, I want to talk about self-driving cars. And here's the Mandela effect about everything I'm about to say. I said to Rita last night as I'm writing today's rant in bed last night. I'm just thinking about it. 1 o'clock in the morning, Rita and I wake up and we're, dogs barking and whatever. And I said, hey, remember you and I were just talking about self-driving cars? She goes, Church, I have no idea what you're talking about. I said, yeah, but we were talking about, and all of this kind of flooded into my head last night. So Rita's in denial. It's Mandela effect. I believed it happened. She says it doesn't. She wants to rewrite history, and I'll let her do that. But I want to talk about self-driving cars because during these crazy days of our worldwide lockdown, coronavirus, and dire economy forecast, I want to talk about self-driving cars. I'm going to tie it together, too. And let's start here. 5 years from now, we will probably be right in the middle of the self-driving car beginning and it starting to take hold around the planet. 10 years from now, it'll be a brave new world. Self-driving tech will be solid, provable, and of course, safe, according to the pundits out there. At least that's what we will be told. But what if we were 10 years ahead of the curve and the tech was here today and those self-driving cars were the standard? What if, right? Over the weekend, the CDC, the Center of Disease Control, issued travel restrictions for New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Now, let's just imagine for a second what this would mean if self-driving tech was part of our society today. Would the government be able to restrict your driving? Think about that. If you are in New York, self-driving cars, right? And you want to cross the state line to, say, Pennsylvania or West Virginia, and your car just shuts off as you go across the state line. Think about this for a second. Or worse yet, you're in your driveway in New York, and you plug in the address in your navigation system for someplace in West Virginia, and your car doesn't even start. Well, you have to ask yourself, is this possible? Absolutely, it's possible. You see, here in the United States, we are used to one very basic concept: the freedom to drive wherever and whenever you want. You want to jump in the car right now, drive across the country? Well, you just do it. Right? And you want to jump in the car at 3 a.m. and go get some fast food? Right? You can just do that too. We all know how cool it is to just jump in the car and head out to your favorite 24-hour drive-through in the middle of the night. I don't know about you, but Rita and I do it all the time. If the automated driving technology was in place right now, we would see these fundamental freedoms tested for real. We have already seen the shutdown of the airline industry, which is something that is not in our control. I understand that. But they've done it to restrict travel and the spread of coronavirus. Right now, the government does not have the same control over our cars. As we let our minds wander into this concept a little bit, let's go deeper into the potential darkness. I want you to listen to me for a second. Let's say you got yourself into a funky legal issue, right? And it could be anything. Maybe you didn't pay your taxes on time, or you punched somebody in a bar. Maybe you bounced a check. Maybe you never paid for your Columbia House record deal back in the 1980s, whatever. And now your automated car is restricted to only driving to work and back, right? Seriously. It's self-driving, right? It will make sure that you only go to and from work and you don't get to have some quick stop at the liquor store or your buddy's house on the way home, right? So look at it this way. You're stuck in your daily automated commute, and you get a call from your friends in your restricted commute. Well, you'll have to make a request, and think about this for a second. Maybe you want to go somewhere, and you get a phone call from your buddy, and your buddy says, hey, we're all going out to dinner tonight and then a movie, and your answer is like, hey, man, I can't do it. And they say, well, it's on your way home. And your response is, well, I can't. My car's taking me straight home first. There's nothing I can do. Or maybe you just want to go somewhere over the weekend, anywhere. What do? Well, you're going to have to ask for permission. And you're going to have to make a request. And then maybe you'll get a special code texted, to you on your cell phone, right? And you got to punch in the text on your navigation system so your car will maybe take you to where you want to go and back. But only if they let you. Here's another possible issue. All of those little city cars that you can buy right now, they're all small, they're cheap. They don't go above 40 miles per hour. They're like golf carts. They're all designed for your city needs, buzzing around downtown. Now, let's talk about the automated version of that car. One that will only take you where you want to go in the city where you live, but it isn't allowed outside the city limits. These are just a few of the many considerations we have to take into account when we start to consider self-driving cars. The upside? Well, there's going to be fewer accidents. There's going to be zero traffic jams. All of that's going to be a thing of the past. You probably won't need the driver's license that you have today, right? And you're not going to have to worry about the 16-year-old out there driving a 4,000-pound death machine for the first time. There's all of that. And sure, the positive spin is going to be put out there that how great the self-driving car revolution will be, and that it's already being done right now, and it's being talked about by Elon Musk and Uber and Google and Amazon, right? Are you willing to give up the pure joy of just jumping in your car right now and heading out for a cross-country vacation? Well, you know what? You may never take the LA to New York spin. I understand that. But it's the ability and the freedom to do it on a whim that matters and matters most. The scariest part of all of this is actually quite simple. If our government had the ability to shut down our ability to drive during this coronavirus pandemic, they would have pushed the button already. And I'm not trying to freak anybody out. I'm just saying that you should hang on to your V8-powered, non-connected, very unsmart car for a while longer. Because there is nothing like the freedom of the top-down, shades-on, sun-in-your-face, impromptu cruise to the beach on the other side of the country. Think about that. And doing it anytime you please. That feeling. That's what you are guaranteed as an American. At least for right now, that is. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Quittspiracy 3 with Jason Quitt. And I'll be right back after this short break with our guest, Jason Quitt, live from Toronto, Canada. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. That's all you got to do. On the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. Stay with me. I'll be right back.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roasted to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
OMG! People are jumping on board to the Life Change Tea Regiment. Brew, steep, and drink for a gentle, taste-great cleanse. It's changing how they feel. See what everybody's talking about. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Life Change Tea aids in digestive slowdown and helps people get moving down a healthy path. We won't make claims. We'll just let you decide. Experience is much better than a commercial anyway. If you want results, log on to getthetea.com and purchase your super strength cleansing tea. You won't be disappointed. And if you're looking for some mind-body suggestions, go to YouTube and punch in the search bar Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. Put power into your health now. So, getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com for super strength tea. And YouTube, Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now for valuable suggestions. Getthetea.com. The tea that makes you go.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the planet.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Matthew, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, the planet. Tonight, Jason Quitt. Jason Quitt is here live from Toronto for Quittspiracy 3. Tomorrow night, live from New York City, Mitch Horowitz joins us. Wednesday night, Andrea Perrin. That's right. You've seen The Conjuring. Just wait until Wednesday night. Oh, yeah. Thursday night's another Fader night. Open lines all night long. Tonight, it's all about Jason Quitt. Because tonight is part 3 of our Quittspiracy Quittspiracy Series. And we're calling it Quittspiracy 3, which is a Quittspiracy all by itself, right? Right? Tonight, we're going to focus on the coronavirus, all of it. And Jason is a graduate of the Institute of Energy Wellness, a student of the Algonquin Shamanism, has been training and working with many teachers, shamans, and traditional healers from all around the world. He's also the author of Forbidden Knowledge, Revelations of a Multidimensional Time Traveler. He's the author of The Egyptians' Postures of Power, the Ancient Gong System, and the Yosef Codes, Sacred Geometry Mandalas. I would like to welcome back to Fade to Black, the one and only Jason Quitt. Jason, good evening, man. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me back for the 3rd Quittspiracy special.
And before we get started tonight, Quittspiracy 3, 1 pipe, 2 pipes, 3 pipes, 4.
Well, we're doing it, so it's absolutely 4 pipes.
It's absolutely 4 pipes. There's only one way to look at it, man. Only one way to look at it. Before we get started, what is the environment of Toronto right now?
You know what? Things have quieted down. Where I'm living, which is up north in just about an hour north of Toronto, things are closed down, restaurants are closed down, but the main things are open. So we can still go to Costco, you can go to drugstore, grocery stores, and food and supplies is all stacked up. There doesn't look like there's any shortages of anything except for masks and gloves and things like that. But everybody is, putting space in between, social distancing. They've put up, how do I say this? They put up these plastic things in front of the registers.
Yep, they're everywhere. They're everywhere here too as well.
And the other day I went to Canadian Tire, which is a store. Most Americans won't know what Canadian Tire is, but it's a hardware store. And I went there, and right outside the store, they set up a whole hand washing station, so that before you even enter the store, you could wash your hands, which I thought was a very good idea.
Yeah, yesterday, Rita and I, we had some stuff we had to do. And actually, we're at home just like everybody else. So we took this time over the weekend to do some yard work and plant some flowers and trees and stuff. We do it every spring, but, and of course I had to clean out the garage and do a bunch of stuff. And we had to... one of the things that we had to do on Rita's list of requirements of now sheltering at home, stay at home, was PlayStation 4. And so our PlayStation 4 setup, which was all ready to go, but I needed a new HDMI cable, right? So couldn't order it off of Amazon. It was like 1 month to get the order in. So I said, let's go to Best Buy. Tomorrow. So we drove over to Best Buy. You cannot go into the store. You can't. You pull up in the parking lot. They flag you down. There's guys out there with clipboards. You pull up. The parking lot's empty, by the way. It was bizarre. And so you pull up. You give them your name, what it is that you're there to buy. They put you in a parking spot with a little tag on it. You pull up, and then they bring your order to you, the product, whatever it is, large screen TV, or for us, it was an HDMI cable. They brought it outside, you pay for it outside, and you go back to your car and you drive away. Nobody allowed in the store, and that was pretty trippy. After that, we went over to Lowe's to buy some plants and stuff for our garden, and the plastic barriers that you're talking about are there.
Yes.
You could go into the store, but they have everything marked off on the floor where, 6 feet in between everybody. And that was all there. And everybody was practicing social distancing and taking it very, very serious. Over at Costco, we didn't go in, but Costco was kind of empty. There was a lot of parking spaces and things that were available, but we didn't go in. So we have no idea what the environment was like inside of Costco. But yeah, things are definitely different here in Los Angeles. There's no question about it. For you up there, what about the stay-at-home orders and the streets and stuff? Is everything quiet and no traffic and foot traffic?
Where I live, there's very little traffic. It's noticeable that people are staying home. But a lot of people are actually getting outside and walking around. So I've even gone out with Monica and walked around the neighborhood, and there's people walking around. And even when you're passing people, we kind of step 6 feet apart, and we're very friendly with each other. We say hello. So we see more people out and about and actually enjoying the spring weather coming. But nobody's really out driving around. And I did go to Costco the other day as well. And it was empty. It was like, and usually these Costco's are packed from morning till night. Mm-hmm. It's hard to even get a parking spot.
Right.
And I went in there and everything was there except for toilet paper and some cleaning supplies and hand wipes. but everything else was there in quantity. So thankfully, we can still get what we need at this point.
You know what I find interesting is that we seem to be living in the middle of, a science fiction movie, right? We've got a worldwide virus pandemic, the economic shutdown, the travel between countries completely eliminated, borders shut down, people out of work, companies shut down. Everywhere you look, everybody's affected, and we are, walking around in real time inside of a crazy science fiction movie. And with this, you get every conspiracy theory that you can possibly think of, and understandably so. I mean, you can just let your imagination wander, and there's a conspiracy theory out there that will apply to what we are going through right now. And it doesn't matter if it's politics or economics or the New World Order or the Illuminati. Everything comes into play here, the Georgia Guidestones. And you and I have put together a pretty solid list of different conspiracy theories that are going on. For you, as we went through this list, and we're going to start off with we're going to go back to ancient Rome. Okay, so we're going to do that first. But for you, as you look at these different conspiracy theories, were you surprised not only the amount, but the wide subject matter of these conspiracy theories and the fact that they play on both sides of the fence? You have one conspiracy theory on one side that says one thing. You have another one on the other side that is the exact opposite of the first conspiracy theory, but people are buying into this, aren't they?
I would say there's a conspiracy for every type of mind out there. And even I've been researching some articles, and a lot of the scientists and researchers are actually starting to go down the conspiracy road as well. So things are there for everybody. I'm not surprised at all. I am surprised, though, at how much conspiracies are out there that are just total nonsense from beginning to end, and they're getting a lot of steam, especially on the internet.
Well, it's always been fun to look into a conspiracy theory. Right? Mm-hmm. And then you go, and then there's a video, there's a couple of blogs, and it's posted all over Facebook and Twitter. It gets teeth. It starts rolling like a snowball going downhill. And the next thing you know, you've got avenues to go and research this. And right now, it seems to be endless. I mean, it is absolutely bottomless with the amount of information that is out there with these different conspiracy theories. And they're always based on a little bit of fact, which gives it teeth. And the next thing you know, you're off to the races, aren't you?
Yeah, it's, first of all, what makes a conspiracy great is that it's usually based in truth. So you can actually research the basis of a conspiracy and say, wow, that is 100% fact. But then it takes it a step further into the land of fantasy. And this is where a lot of people get confused of what's a real conspiracy and what's not a real conspiracy.
Now, let's start with the number 40. Let's go right there. The number 40 and coronavirus.
Well, before I go there, Jimmy, and listen, I wasn't going to say this, but it's bothering me. And I don't know if you remember this, but the original SARS coronavirus outbreak that happened in 2003, one of the epicenters was actually Toronto. I don't know if you remember that.
Okay, continue.
Okay. So what happened was a woman from Hong Kong came back from vacation with her son to Toronto, and she was sick. She went to the hospital. She went home and she died. And they just said that she died of a heart attack. Well, her son was also infected by the SARS coronavirus, and he went to the hospital. And he basically sat in the hallway of this hospital for hours until he was helped. And this gets a little personal to me, and this is why I wasn't going to talk about it, but I think it's important that people know this, is that a very close family friend of mine was in that hallway with that son who had SARS. And he was sitting down waiting to be checked for heart palpitations or something with his heart, irregular heartbeat. And he went home, and he was infected with SARS from the sun. And within a week, him and his wife both passed away. It was the first people that weren't from out of the country that died of SARS in Toronto, and that spun the whole outbreak of SARS in Toronto. So it's like this whole thing it's happening again with the coronavirus, COVID-19, which is a very similar strain to the SARS that came in 2003 to Toronto. So Toronto has already been through a SARS epidemic, and we've had quarantine in Toronto before. And I knew personally the first 2 people that died from SARS in Toronto. So it is very real. Even though we can say it's a conspiracy or bioweapon or this or that, it's still affecting people's lives, and it's still out there. So we can talk about these conspiracies and this, but there are people out there that this has really touched, and I want to be very sensitive to those people as well, because I've been there. I've seen what this does to people.
Very interesting. And I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this because we have so much to talk about tonight.
Yes.
But did you say that he got SARS from the sun?
The son of the woman
see, the way
came
that
from
you,
Hong Kong.
Okay, the way
Yes.
that you said it, you made it sound like he went outside and sunlight hit his face. And I was, okay, so let's correct that right now. He didn't get SARS from the sun in the sky. He got SARS from the sun, from the son of a father and mother.
Yes, the original lady who came from Hong Kong carrying the SARS coronavirus, her son went to the hospital, and that's where the spreading of SARS, the epicenter, happened in Toronto.
Got it. Okay, let's get back to the number 40.
Okay. Well, an interesting fact about 40 is that's actually what the original word for quarantine came from. So quarantine came from an Italian word called quarantana, and it was used in ancient times for 40 days of space, because people that were on ships that were suspected of carrying disease or the plague, they weren't allowed to come on shore for 40 days. So basically they parked their boats out into the sea across from land, and they would have to stay on that boat for 40 days to make sure that there's no cases of plague or anything coming onto shore. So that's where the original word quarantine came from, is 40 days of space by yourself. And I just find it a very interesting coincidence that we're in the year 2020. And, if you take 20 plus 20, you get 40, which is the word quarantine. And if you want to stick with the number 40, Italy, which is the home of the ancient Romans, which houses the capital of Christianity, started its quarantine around the same day as Lent, which is 40 days of giving penance leading up to Easter Sunday. And that goes directly to the ancient tradition of the Ides of March, which was converted into ancient Christianity. Basically, it was a time of getting rid of all debts and giving sacrifice to the god Jupiter in the Romans. So there's all these very strange coincidences around the word quarantine and 40 days. And many are predicting, there's a lot of psychics and channelers and even doctors predicting that we will be out of quarantine by Easter Sunday.
Now, are we just piling up too many coincidences here? I mean, all of that is very, very strange. And to hear the White House mention Easter, this is going to be over by Easter. That's it. We'll be back to these comments about Easter. And we just had Chris Bledsoe on the show last week. And one of the things that he mentioned is that each Easter he gets a message and something happens. And I had said to him, you're going to have people outside of your house, right, waiting to see what's going to happen on Easter Sunday. But it keeps coming back to that, and the Ides of March, and 40, and quarantine, and Italy, the debt forgiveness, and the economy that we're going through right now, and all of the mentions of foregoing your mortgages and no more rent will be overdue. There's going to be no evictions. These comments about debt forgiveness, and of certainly the economic package, $2 trillion. That's going to be probably $6 when it's all said and done. It's all very strange that this has been talked about before, and we're going through it right now at this time of the year. I just find it bizarre.
It is very bizarre. And you asked, is it a coincidence? And I would say it's too much of a coincidence. It is bordering on, is this planned? Because, with Lent, with the Ides of March, it's all about these 40 days. And it's following exactly what this was in ancient tradition, which is giving a sacrifice, paying off the debts so that we can go forward in a new year. And, what made the Ides of March famous in our time? It was William Shakespeare and Julius Caesar. That was the day that Julius Caesar was assassinated, actually, in 44 BC.
On the steps of the Senate.
Yes. And, there was always this doom and gloom. It was called, from William Shakespeare, beware the Ides of March, which is, basically a prophecy that there is going to be doom coming forward. And here's another thing which is really interesting, because 4 years later in 40 BC, so here's another 40, all right, Octavian publicly executed 300 senators and knights ritually on the altar of Jupiter on the anniversary of Julius Caesar's death on the Ides of March.
40 BC.
40 BC, another 40. So all these 40s come up, and it has to do with this, this warning that, this is the time of year of symbolic or literal death of the old world and a birth of a new one. And it has to do with this whole springtime cleaning thing of, the ancient world and the cycles and honoring the times of death and rebirth. And it was all about this delicate balance of nature, which basically holds the world in place and in order. So, March is the symbol of spring, new birth, the seeds to be planted. And it was a time to let go of the past or pay off all debts so that we can actually go forward and express a new year. And the issue was, or the whole symbology was, that if you did not pay off these debts, if you did not give these sacrifices to Jupiter, that the world would be out of balance and that chaos would come into the world. So there was kind of like a penance. You would go to the altar of Jupiter with your sheep. And this is also something really interesting that conspiracy theorists might really appreciate, because on this day of the Ides of March, the high priests would lead a mass of sheep down the main streets of Rome to be sacrificed on the altar of Jupiter.
And then last night, the new season of Happy came out. And Rita and I started watching that last night after we finished Ozark. But last night, in the first episode of season 2 of Happy, there was this political gathering on Easter, right? On Easter in downtown New York City. And one of the politicians gets up there and brings up Moses and his 40 years in the desert. And so I'm sitting here thinking, the number 40 keeps clobbering me in the head. Easter coming left and right. I can't escape it. Coronavirus, Ides of March. We're in March, heading into April, coming up on Easter Sunday. And then last night, coinkydink, I don't know, season 1 of Happy. We've got to talk about Moses, 40 years, and Easter. it's just like too much at one time for me, Jason. It's just bizarro world.
Yes, and if you want to go reel down that rabbit hole into conspiracy, we know that what we call the elite or people running the world, they're very much into ancient religions. They're very much into symbology and numbers. So usually those that look into the occult, we look for signs of the numbers that they use or the symbols that they use. And it's kind of this subconscious repatterning that we see in media and TV shows, for example. So I think there is something to this 40 thing. It's right in our face, and it's constantly being shown.
Now, we've got so many coronavirus conspiracies that we're going to be going through tonight, and it's going to be a pretty packed show. We have too many to do voting on 1 pipe, 2 pipe, 3 pipe, 4, at least in the traditional polling that we do. Maybe Rita can keep up with it. I'm not sure, but we certainly have everybody over in the sandbox on Twitter. But I want to get everybody's reactions tonight. And if you do have a coronavirus conspiracy that is either in our list tonight that you think is pretty solid, want to hear from you. But if you've got a coronavirus conspiracy that we haven't mentioned tonight, please call in 747-228-2051. Jason, I'm ready to take a break right here. Are you ready for Conspiracy 3?
I am ready.
I said conspiracy. Quittspiracy 3. Let's take our break right here. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Jason Quitt, live from Toronto, Canada, for Quittspiracy 3. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. You can follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Follow Jason at Jason_Quitt. That's Quitt with 2 T's. We'll be right back with Quittspiracy 3 after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now to angioprim.com. That's ANGIOPRIM.com. Or to speak with a trained consultant. Give Angioprim a call at 954-882-7221. That's 954-882-7221.
Introducing the new Surfer Music app. Listen, Fade or not, you know I love my music. This is my go-to for all things notes. The Surfer app is a brand new concept in music listening. Surfer is free, providing unlimited access to thousands of live streaming radio stations. Surfer is an exciting, interactive listening experience. Discovery and surprise are built right in. Surfer is your destination to discover and rediscover great live streaming music. It features high-quality audio streams, free access to music from thousands of live streaming radio stations, unlimited listening, unlimited skipping. You get a music visualizer, and you can also select your favorite channels. Get it at the Apple App Store or Google Play. Just search Surfer Music or click on the Surfer banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Go Beckley Tappy.
Folks, this is very important information. What's to be said about CBD? AncientLifeOil.com. Our CBD is made from hemp, and has 0.003 THC, which means this wonderful product won't get you high, no matter what amount you take. What does CBD do for the body? My hands are tied. But you can Google CBD benefits and be astounded. When you're finished reading, you'll want to log on to ancientlifeoil.com. That's ancientlifeoil.com and purchase. Life is good when you feel good. People are tired of pain. People are asking for non-GMO organic products to help them with you fill in the blank. Legal in 49 states, and again, our CBD is made from hemp. Ancient Life Oil is about helping people one by one by one. If you wonder how good the product is, the CEO takes it every day without miss. AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Have a great day.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We're of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernaut by just going to our membership section at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright-Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. Tonight, Quittspiracy 3 with Jason Quitt, live from Toronto, California. Toronto, Canada. Oh, man. You got to love that slip up, Jason. I know the temperature hasn't increased that much up there. I got an email from Renee during the break, and she says, Jimmy, you've got to set a good example. Quit touching your face. Everybody can see you, right? I'm on all these video feeds. And now, all of a sudden, she sends me that email, right? Now my face just itches. My beard itches, my face, my eye, my thing, that's it. Now all this, look what she did. It's the power of suggestion. So now I've got to sit here and fight the urge just to set a good example. So everybody, you're going to see me getting close, but I'll stop. God, everything itches right now. Thanks, Renee. Renee, you're the best. You're absolute. I didn't realize. Yeah, I do. I need to set a good example. And right now, I just gotta it's hard, man. I read a fact the other day with all of this face touching stuff, right? That the average person, I think, touches their face 10 times per minute. Is that right? 10 times per minute?
That doesn't sound right. I haven't touched my face this entire time, I don't think.
Yeah, you're not on video. You're not on video. You can say whatever you want. But yeah, that's I heard it was like up to 600 times an hour. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's 60 times an hour. I don't know. Yeah, it's like 10 times per minute. I don't know. How many minutes in an hour? 60, 10 times per minute? I don't know. I would say in 60 seconds you could do. Yeah, I'm buying into that. The memes. Let the meme war. Okay, let's get this started here. Quittspiracy 3. Tonight our focus is on coronavirus. And I don't know who wants to go first. I can certainly kick this off. But you want to flip a coin? Let's flip a guitar pick.
All right.
Okay, so I'll do a Doug Aldrich guitar pick. Okay, no, I got a Tascam guitar pick. So it's Tascam on one side and a picture on the other. I'll flip the guitar pick. I used to be able to do this in the 80s. I could flip a guitar pick, catch it in my mouth, 100% of and spit it out into the audience. Isn't that a great coronavirus thing to do? Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to flip. Oh, what do you want? Do you want Tascam or the face?
The face.
You're going to take the face. It is Tascam, everybody. I win. Okay, do you like that? Do you like that? On camera. That was pretty good, huh? I'll do it again. You ready? Oh, it's the face. Okay, let's go 2 out of 3.
All right.
Let's go 2 out of 3. I'm just doing this for the camera. I dropped it. Okay, it's on the floor, and it is... Oh, gee. The disappearing guitar pick. It's gone.
I actually have a pick in front of me too.
Okay, flip it. I'll take the printed side.
Okay, I have a turtle on the printed side.
Okay. Oh, a Dunlop Tortex.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you got it actually.
Okay, so I win. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, here we go. All right, everybody. For the first, I'm just doing this in. Some of this is for laughter too, as well, because people buy into this. But here you go. Touching face 10 times per minute. Maybe they have long hair or bangs in their face, and that's from Lisa Allen. She's right about that. Yeah, she's right about that. Okay, here's my first coronavirus conspiracy. You ready?
Yes.
Black people, and this is the conspiracy theory. Black people are completely immune to COVID-19, or would recover quickly and easily if they did contract it. That is all over the web right now. When you hear that, Jason, what goes through your mind?
Well, I think immediately that, viruses don't choose races.
Nope.
So automatically I think that, and then my scientific mind would say, well, if this is true, how would this be possible? And when you have more melanin in your skin, and you're more able to be out in the sun, more vitamin D, higher immune system. So there might actually be something to it in that regards.
Interesting.
And also, let's say in warmer conditions, like summer, dry heat conditions, that's where the virus is the least.
Now, we've got more on this coming up, by the way. And there are some crazy conspiracy theories when it comes to that. And we will get to those. Okay, so I'm kicking off the show with that. And for everybody out there, let's pop this into Twitter, #F2B. Black people are completely immune to COVID-19. 1 pipe, 2 pipe, 3 pipes, 4. And, of course, I am going 1 pipe right there, Jason. What's yours?
I'm going 1 pipe, even though I'm trying to analyze this scientifically.
Yeah.
It's still 1 pipe.
Yeah, it took off, man. And for everybody out there, as we go through these conspiracy theories when it comes to coronavirus, COVID-19, just jump on the web. Just do a Google search, and you will. If you don't think people are buying into it, and these things haven't gone viral, check it out. Okay, tossing it over to you, Jason. What do you have? What's next?
Coronavirus comes from bat soup, and it was spread by a person who ate bat soup.
That patient 0.
Yes.
Did the Ozzy Osbourne.
Yes.
Right? That and that's a whole other thing. If we go back to Ozzy Osbourne biting the head off the bat, and had to undergo rabies treatment, right? And then remember, across the United States, bats were being thrown on the stage. People were going to concerts with dead bats, rubber bats. It was everywhere.
This is a very interesting thing with Ozzy. Because you would think that with all those bats at Ozzy concerts, we would have had ground zero at an Ozzy show for coronavirus back in the day.
Back in the day. And I was reading a bunch of stuff about this, and I remember Ozzy said, man, I was drunk, I was high, somebody threw a live bat on the stage, I didn't know, an actual bat, and I just picked it up and bit the head off. I didn't know that it was a real bat. I thought it was a rubber bat. That's how it all went down, and it was crazy how that took the headline news across this country for a couple of months. That was a big deal. Now, going back to this, I have followed up with as much information as I can on the bat soup theory. And this is what I read, that coronavirus does hang out in bats. It's a common virus amongst bats. It would have to have transmuted and changed and evolved in order to spread to humans directly from bat soup, if that was indeed the case. And that science right now is kind of poo-pooing the whole bat soup theory. It hasn't been discounted completely, but what have you found out?
Well, what have I found out is that they do sell live bats in Wuhan, especially the wet markets. They also sell a lot of exotic animals that do carry the coronavirus in those strains. So that is 100% fact in my mind that these animals, especially the bats, which is, a flying rodent, the rodents carried the plague back in the day. This is not new news. But the coronavirus, COVID-19 that we are currently dealing with actually comes almost 96% from a bat found in China. And the other percentage of this virus is a combination is a scaly anteater. That is a very popular animal in Wuhan, China, and all of China, actually. It's have you ever seen that animal? It's a very interesting animal. It's like it has these scales all around it and it curls up in a ball. Very interesting animal, but it's it's almost an endangered animal, and people traffic it. It's illegal smuggling of this animal, and this animal shows up in these wet markets.
Now, I had also read very heavy research on my part looking into this, that since the avian flu, remember when China went and killed millions of chickens, right? You remember when they did the chicken slaughter? Yes. Well, at that point, the exotic and live animal markets in China nearly shrunk to nothing. Not saying that it doesn't still go on, because it does, but the interest in it just nearly diminished to nothing, and that the live animal aspect of this, including bats, in Wuhan was actually very, very rare. Still goes on, but the odds of all of this actually happening have really, 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 really shrunk. So I'm not saying we take the bat soup aspect of it off of the table, but we may have to start looking elsewhere when it comes to coronavirus.
Yes, and just remember, because China declared victory over coronavirus this week, the markets reopened in Wuhan. They're selling, I don't want to tell you what they're selling on the radio, but nothing's changed, is what I'm trying to say. So it's very, very strange. And I also want to put out the fact here that we talk about animal to human transmission. Okay, we talk about this all the time with SARS and H1N1 and all these things. Science to this day, still does not know how that occurs. We don't know how it transfers from the species of an animal to the species of a human. It's still a mystery. So that's also something to consider when people are talking about a transmission from a bat or a pangolin, I believe it's called. It's the scaly anteater.
Mm-hmm.
And they are everywhere, and especially in China. So humans are with these animals. So I could say it's likely that there's a transmission. I don't think it's from eating bat soup. But listen, if you eat bat soup, I'm pretty sure the risk of picking up something like a parasite or something worse is quite a possibility. So maybe don't eat bat soup.
I thought bats were really, really clean. They are certainly cute. I'm looking at a pangolin right now, and if there was ever an alien species brought to this planet from somewhere off planet, that's it right there, man. I think it's crazy. Okay. Bat soup conspiracy theory. 1 pipe, 2 pipe, 3 pipes, 4.
I'm going to have to give it a 2 pipe.
Yeah, I'm going 2 pipe. I can't go 1 pipe.
Yeah.
I can't go bat blank crazy. I don't think it's quite that crazy. 2 pipes for me. All right, let's pop that over to Twitter. Let's get everybody's votes in for the bat soup. The bat soup. What's the word? Progenitor. The progenitor of coronavirus. Bat soup. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's continue. I am up. I'm next, right? Okay.
Yes, you are.
So if we're going to go bat soup, you're going to go there first. I'm going to go with COVID-19 was created in a Wuhan lab in China. This is probably the most prevalent conspiracy theory out there. There are problems with this conspiracy theory with me. But before we go there, Jason, there is this. When they say the Wuhan lab in China, the creation, the origin of the coronavirus and COVID-19, the problem with that is I almost touched my nose, everybody, but I went past it. I didn't quite do it. Is this. There's 2 versions of this conspiracy theory. And the first one is that coronavirus is a bioweapon engineered by the Chinese government for use against the United States. And then there's the flip side of it, that it was created by the United States to wage a war against China. You can't have it both ways, can you? But yet, it's out there. Which way are you leaning?
I have another conspiracy to put on this.
What is it?
What if it was joint creation of U.S. and China?
Together. To bring...
And I think I have some proof that might sway in that direction.
Okay. So so let's go with we need pipes here. Coronavirus was created in a Wuhan lab in China. 1 pipe, 2 pipe, 3 pipes, 4.
Well, before we do that,
no, we got it. No. It's my show. Okay. So we got to start there first. Was it created in a Wuhan bioweapons lab in China?
I'm gonna go with a 2 pipe.
I'm going 2 pipes too. I'm going 2 pipes. There's reasons. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying yes. I got to go 2 pipes. I might even go 2.5. I can go 2.5. I'm going to go 2 pipes with a clean screen installed.
Yes.
I just said that live on the air.
And the reason why I would say that is because it is 100% that in those laboratories that they have studied coronavirus. Because they study it in all the viral laboratories.
But why would the United States and China work together in the creation of this and then unleash it on the world to collapse both of their economies?
No, that doesn't make any sense to me. That really doesn't make any sense to me. But there was something very peculiar. And this has to go back into 2015 at the University of North Carolina. There was a group of people studying the SARS coronavirus, and there was representation from the Wuhan Institute of Virology that were there in North Carolina University with the group studying the SARS-like virus, the coronavirus, and they knew exactly that it would come from the bat. And what they were doing in North Carolina is they were actually trying to manipulate the coronavirus to see if they could make a new version of the coronavirus. And actually, what I'll do to just prove I'm not just saying stuff, I'm going to post this on Twitter.
Okay, while you're posting that on Twitter, I want to also put out there where we get some conflicts of all of this, where Chinese officials coming out in an official capacity, they started claiming that the virus itself originated in Italy. And that was interesting, and putting the spin on it, saying the reason why, this is coming out of China, the reason why Italy is refusing all help from the United States is because they know that the United States originated the virus in Italy and unleashed it there too as well. And then, and I can take it one step further, because Chinese officials are also saying that the virus came from a military lab inside of the United States. So you've got these two origin conflicts, one being in the United States, one of them being in Italy, and then two reasons for these 2 points of origin. And they conflict with each other, but both are coming out of China. I don't understand why, but each one of these goes back and overlaps with the other, negating the previous conspiracy theory, including going back to yours, that it was the United States and China working together out of Wuhan. It's all very strange, Jason.
And there's another connection to Italy, which I don't think many people talk about, is that Saint Corona is buried in northern Italy.
That's right.
So
yes.
And that's where the outbreak started in Italy. Is around the place where Saint Corona was tortured and murdered for her beliefs.
And because I'm a conspiracy theorist, some call me the king of conspiracy, I enjoy a great conspiracy. I enjoy researching it. I don't buy into every conspiracy theory. There are conspiracy theorists out there that absolutely hold steadfast in you're either all in or you are not. Now, we've just laid out 3 or 4 conspiracy theories in a row about coronavirus, and none of them can work with each other. They can't, right? They can't all be happening at the same time, can they?
They can't. But we do know that whatever this is, the coronavirus that is found in bats from China, we can actually trace it back to there. So, was it taken from China and then worked on in the United States in a lab, or was it taken in China and worked on in China? We don't know these answers.
Now, okay, so let's wrap this up before we move on. I'm looking at the break here, looking at the time. This is the next 1 pipe, 2 pipe, 3 pipe, 4, which is this. Based on everything that you and I just mentioned about China, the United States, the origins, Wuhan, Biolab, whether it was Italy, West Virginia, the 1 pipe, 2 pipe, 3 pipe, 4 question is, did China and the United States know about coronavirus and its release in advance? That's the key question, and that's the origin of all conspiracy theories. So I'm going to ask you, did both China and the United States know about the coronavirus and its release in advance? Jason, 1 pipe, 2 pipe, 3 pipe, 4.
I'm going to have to go 2 pipes.
I'm going 3.
Yeah.
I'm leaning 3. I think there's too much here. Before I go into the full 4, and I could very easily do that, I am going 3. I'm going 3 pipes. I'm leaning on that side of the fence.
Yeah. Well, I can prove with the article that I just posted on Twitter that they were talking about the next coronavirus being a huge pandemic in the U.S. and in Wuhan back in 2015.
Okay. Now, who did the last one? Me? Okay, it's back to you.
It's back to me. All right, let me go over this list here.
Jason,
right.
we are live on the radio right now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Has the virus been spreading around the world earlier than previously thought? Has this already been spread, and then now we are going into it?
And that is a very interesting situation here when we are talking about conspiracy theories, and I'll tell you why. The dates of this and the way everybody has been talking about it, it's going further and further back. And it's very interesting to me how China and here in the United States and other governments around the world are talking about, well, you know, we knew about this in early February. No, actually, we knew about it in late January. No, it was the middle of January. It was the beginning of January. Actually, it was December. Well, actually, it was the middle of December. Well, it was the beginning of December is when everybody started. And it's very strange to me how the date keeps getting pushed further and further back. Many will talk about where we are today versus 3 weeks ago, right? March 8th, March 7th, March 9th. And the dates are getting pushed further and further back about who officially knew about it and where the spread started to. It's very interesting for me, Jason.
Yes, and there is some interesting proof about the first whistleblower in Wuhan that tried to tell people about this new SARS-like virus affecting his patients. And basically the authorities were threatening him. They were saying he was making false comments. They interrogated him. They told him to stop spreading rumors. And unfortunately, that doctor succumbed to COVID-19 on February 7th. So the doctor that was trying to warn the world about this new pandemic actually got that and died. And no one listened to him back in the day. So there was warning, but it was ignored and it was tried to be silenced early on.
Let's take our break right here. This is Fade to Black tonight. Quittspiracy 3 with Jason Quitt, live from Toronto, Canada. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Hello to everybody out there on YouTube, Twitter, Spreaker, TalkStream Live, Facebook, of course, our website. It's a great show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Introducing the new Surfer Music app. Listen, Fadernauts, you know I love my music. This is my go-to for all things notes. The Surfer app is a brand new concept in music listening. Surfer is free, providing unlimited access to thousands of live streaming radio stations. Surfer is an exciting interactive listening experience. Discovery and surprise are built right in.
Surfer is your destination to discover and rediscover great live streaming music. It features high-quality audio streams, free access to music from thousands of live streaming radio stations, unlimited listening, unlimited skipping. You get a music visualizer, and you can also select your favorite channels. Get it at the Apple App Store or Google Play. Just search Surfer Music or click on the Surfer banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Are you intrigued by paranormal talk radio? You'll love the new paranormal radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the paranormal radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the paranormal radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Quittspiracy 3 with Jason Quitt live from Toronto, Canada. And Jason, I don't know if you took it, but I just took Sonia Grace's poll. I've got it up here in Twitter. And the questions are, Jason, you need to settle down. Quit making noise.
Yes.
Did you, I've got to go back here and read the original poll now that I screwed it up. Did you have this crud before March? Did you have the sore throat version now? And the third choice is no, never had it. And she said, did you have a fever, body aches, and a cough that lasted a month or more in December, January, or February before the media created a timeline for COVID-19? And I took it, but I haven't had it. I haven't caught it yet. So there you go. According to Renee, if I keep touching my face, I am going to get it. So I'm going to stop touching my face. Now, 1 pipe, 2 pipe, 3 pipe, 4. Did the media know about this, or did the countries know about this before January? I said 3 pipes, but a lot of people are going 4 pipes here, Jason.
I'm pretty sure it's 4 pipes that this was known about.
Yeah, maybe. I'm going to go 3.5. Let's see. Sorry, Jimmy. Got Jason stirred up. Oh, this is a according to the rocker. He's got you flamed out. He red-pilled you. Okay, let's see. Who went last? Is it? Am I up next?
You're up next, Jimmy.
Okay. Let's go with this one. Plenty of United States citizens think the virus is a hoax or a cover for some shadowy power grab and will bring on martial law. Yeah, that is going all over the place. One of the things, as I comment on this one step further, I have got a collection, dozens of emails from different people, all saying the same thing. In the email, it says, I have a friend in the National Guard, and he says that martial law will be kicked in 2 days. They are gathering all around the country. I am warning you, this is real, Jimmy, and it's going to happen in 2 days. I've been getting these emails for 3 weeks. Okay? Virtually word for word the same thing in the emails. Some of these emails, I know these people personally. Right? And I'm just thinking to myself, why would the email say the same thing, that everybody's got a friend or a relative in the National Guard? Right? And this 2-day warning, it's going to kick off in 2 days. Jason, have you heard the same thing? Have you gotten the same emails? You getting the same texts?
Yes, I have. And I've been sent videos of like tanks on trains and different things, and get ready for martial law. And the thing that really scares me about this is that it seems like people are rooting for this. like this is something that they want to happen. And they keep pushing this narrative that martial law is going to come and here's the proof. And, I've been dealing with conspiracies for a long time, just as you. And this whole thing with martial law and lockdown, that was going on even, I believe, in the first SARS outbreak. They were talking about that in 2003. And it still has not happened. So first of all, with the internet now, there is a string, and I don't know how many of those strings you want to pull right now, that talk about this and the reasons for that and why we're going to go into martial law and why it's important and what we have to do. But personally, I've heard this over and over again. And even like last week, they said it was going to happen, stock up on your food because the whole world is going on lockdown tomorrow. Well, it's already next week and nothing's happened. So I personally think this is just a conspiracy, and I don't think there's going to be martial law. There would only be martial law if people go nuts, like rioting in the streets and real problems, people breaking and entering and all these things. But right now, we discussed this, I think, last week. People are becoming more friendly during this time. People are helping each other. We're becoming more of a community in these times of need. People are not freaking out like the media is showing us. So I really don't think that martial law is going to come over this right now.
Yeah, I don't either. But let me say this. Oh, what was the FEMA camp Walmart conspiracy theory that went down 2 years ago, 3 years ago? It was going to be in like 6 or 8 states in the West. And they had a tunnel system between the Walmarts. I forget the name of it. And all of the evidence that this was going down. And it, of course, it didn't transpire, and it was all just an internet hoax. But this could be playing out the same way. But let me make this comment, everybody. I want you to understand. If there was going to be martial law, when you should have done it, and I'm talking about the White House, and kicked it in? The first coronavirus case at the retirement home in Washington. That's when you martial law this thing. Shut it all down. It's here. That's it. Everybody stay in your homes. You come out of your homes, you're going to get shot, right? Jade Helm, that's what it was called. Thank you for that, Lisa. Jade Helm 3 years ago. But that's when you kick in martial law. You don't do it now. Right? It doesn't mean it's not going to be effective now. You do it when the first case comes in. You seal it off, shut it down, and that's it. And nip it. But that wasn't done.
Yes, and Mike Schwartz actually just posted something really interesting, and they say the National Guard, if they mobilize, they're there to mobilize to distribute food and supplies, and it will be your friends, family, and neighbors, because remember, who are these people that are working there? You know, they all have families, they all live in neighborhoods, and most people are really good at heart and just want to help each other.
Yeah, and the other thing is this. Here, and people are listening to me right now. They know who they are. The people that sent me the videos live from downtown Los Angeles, right? Tanks have arrived in downtown Los Angeles. And I just thought about, okay, first off, I live here. And if I'm going to drive to downtown Los Angeles, I better see tanks. Because if I don't see any tanks right in downtown Los Angeles, I'm going to call you out, right? There were no tanks deployed. There were no armed personnel carriers, and nothing like that happened here or in anywhere else across the United States when all of these videos started to pop up. And I had said to people that were talking about this, some of them are very close to me, I said, look, troop deployment like this, the movement of heavy vehicles happens every day, all year long, all across the United States. How do you think they move this stuff? They don't drive tanks down the street, right? They don't drive it on freeways. They move this stuff around all the time. And you see, I've seen it personally all the time. So that's my take on that. And all of the video that has been popping up around the web, I'm just going to say, I'm not saying don't be alarmed. We should. You shouldn't. We need to keep our eyes open. But the video that you're looking at around the country, and around, some of this video is 1, 2, 3 years old. You don't know when these troop trains were videotaped. So, and there may have been a videotape of something rolling through downtown Los Angeles on that day, but Camp Pendleton is right here. And we have 29 Palms next door, and stuff is moving between bases here in Southern California all day long. So that's my take on that. So when we go with the martial law is 2 days away, conspiracy theory. Jason, 1 pipe, 2 pipe, 3 pipes, 4.
I'm going to say 1 pipe at this point.
Yeah, I'm going 1 pipe. I'd like to go 0 pipes, but I don't see martial law happening in 2 days. I've been waiting for it for 3 weeks now. So, look, here we go. Here we go. I knew this. Okay, so Mark from Australia just posted the FEMA camp coffins, right?
Yeah.
These 4-year-old pictures of the FEMA camp coffins on the backs of trucks. Oh, man. And whatever happened, see, okay, FEMA camps. The FEMA camp conspiracy theory. I've watched all the videos. I went down the FEMA camp rabbit hole. All kinds of undercover videos of FEMA camps around the country, the aerial, the drone footage. All of that disappeared. Right? It is okay. FEMA camps being built around the country. They're getting started up again. I'm just going to go at you, Jason. 1 pipe, 2 pipe, 3 pipes, 4. The FEMA camp conspiracy theory.
I believe that the FEMA camps are real. And I'll just say 3 pipes right now. Just also remember that anything within the government, emergency management, they need what would we call that? They need financing every single year, and they need a budget. So they create a lot of these things that they need. And maybe 10 years ago, they thought that, just in case, let's put on the budget buying how many coffins just in case of an emergency. It's all about how much money can we get from the government to put towards our project. So it could be true that they bought those coffins, but the reasons for buying those coffins might not be what the conspiracy theorists are talking about.
So you're going 3 pipes on FEMA camps.
Yeah, they do exist. They do. I think that's part of emergency management.
What are the use for these FEMA camps? Okay, the conspiracy theorist says they're going to lock us all up, and it's part of the New World Order.
Yes, and I don't believe that is. I believe that we have seen really bad traumas in the United States, even hurricanes and tornadoes, flooding. And usually FEMA, if it's really bad, will be called in, and they'll set up a camp where people can go and be safe during those times to get their life back on track. So in really severe cases, they come in to help. Now, if there's a really, let's go full out crazy conspiracy and say that the government is planning this false flag where the United States is going to be devastated to a point where we're going to have to activate the FEMA camps so that the people that are not allowed to go back to the cities, the only place they can go is into these camps to be safe.
I gotcha.
And so that is a conspiracy.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the real. If somebody can identify a real FEMA camp, like a real FEMA camp, employees, the whole shot, I'd like to go visit it. I really would. If somebody can get that to me, I would love for one to be somewhere around in Southern California. I don't know, out in the middle of the Mojave Desert. I don't know, an old prison, or I don't know. I don't even know what the definition is. But there would have to be a lot of infrastructure there. So I would like to. I would definitely go and visit one. I'm gonna go FEMA camp reality, like FEMA camp, the conspiracy theory definition. I got to go 2 pipes. I can't go 3. I can't go 1.
Yeah, I'll go 2 pipes too. And I think that most of the FEMA camps that they do have are actually mobile. And I think they do plan that there are certain areas that would be used in the future if there was a problem. So in that regards, I would say 3 to 4 pipes. But as a conspiracy, I would give it 2 pipes.
Okay, let's go to the next conspiracy theory, which is other claim. The other claim that's going around out there is that the virus itself is a hoax, no more deadly than the common cold, but that officials are stoking panic to undermine President Trump.
It's a very interesting conspiracy. Here's the thing. The problem with coronavirus is that coronavirus is the common cold. So the symptoms can be overlooked. Now, most people that will have a severe reaction to this, like pneumonia, things filling up in their lungs, is usually older people. So people that already have conditions. So it is hard to track, and even the testing devices, even the testing kits that are being spread around, most of them don't even work. Most of them can't even tell you if you have the COVID-19. They may say you have the basic coronavirus, and then you're labeled as having COVID-19. So we don't really know how many real cases of COVID-19 are out there compared to just coronavirus, which is just the common cold. So is it a hoax? Yeah, for me, it's definitely not a hoax to undermine the president. Absolutely not. It's 100. In my mind, it's 100% real, and I would definitely give that 1 pipe on that conspiracy.
So no more deadly than the common cold. You're going 1 pipe.
That's right. I believe if it in fact is based off of the SARS epidemic that we saw back in 2003, then this is extremely deadly for people over the age of 70.
Yeah, and 50% of the deaths right now in California, and 50% of the coronavirus cases in California are between the ages of 18 and, what did I say earlier today? I think 60. So yeah, very, very bizarre. I want to move on really quick because we've got so many more to do. But rapper Cardi B says that celebrities, and she's got a lot of followers, right? Well, yes. She is saying that celebrities who have tested positive for coronavirus, like Idris Elba, are being paid to say that they have the disease. But she doesn't say who is making the payments.
Yes, I think in that video she also says if someone was making the payments that she would like to be paid too.
Yes. Right.
Right.
Now, why would she? She's an influencer. Yes. I mean, like, for real. I mean, she's got a lot of followers out there. Why say something like this unless she knows it to be fact? And if you're going to say something like this, shouldn't you say who you think is making the payments?
Yes. And I think this also connects with, people are saying that there's a conspiracy out there where they're saying it's the coronavirus, but in reality, they're arresting these celebrities.
Idris Elba, who is one of my favorite actors, period, on this planet, man. Going back to Snatch, is this. I don't think Idris is the kind of guy who, by the way, holds the world's record for driving the fastest in a convertible at like 250 miles an hour. I'm not making that up, by the way. He set the Guinness Book of World Records there. But anyway, I just don't think Idris would be on the take. I just don't see that. Do you? I don't feel it.
I don't see this at all. But going back to the testings, which have false positives and also false negatives as well. So the testing is not accurate. A celebrity could just have the common cold, and they can say that they have the coronavirus. If it's a really bad cold, because how do they know? They're going to be staying at home just waiting through this, just like most people.
Who would pay Idris Elba? Idris don't need no money, but this is it. Okay, before we get to the break, because I got one other, I got a big one right here. Celebrities are being paid to say they have coronavirus. 1 pipe, 2 pipe, 3 pipe, 4.
I'm going to say a strong 1 pipe.
I'm going 0 pipes. I can't even go 1 pipe. I can't even laugh. The 1 pipe. Okay, next up, let's get this in before the break.
Sure.
Anti-vaxxers think the virus is an effort to force vaccines on them, and it's orchestrated by Bill Gates. Yep, this is all over the web right now. Bill Gates and coronavirus and COVID-19 and all of his efforts to vaccinate the world. Well, anti-vaxxers think that this is all made up and orchestrated by Bill Gates so everybody can get vaccinated. Before we go to the break, what are your comments on that? And then I'll get your pipe rating real quick.
Well, Bill Gates has been an advocate of this for many years, and he's also given a lot of different talks specifically on this subject, even coronavirus and future pandemics, pushing vaccinations. So I could see how this conspiracy got started because that is absolutely true. Forced vaccination, I don't think they can do it. It's just too big a world, and there is no vaccination for this right now. They could test vaccinations all they want. There is no vaccination that will help because it will continue to mutate.
So, where are you going?
I'm going to go with, I'm going to say plausible. I'm going to say 2 pipes.
You're going 2 pipes?
Yeah, I'm going.
This is orchestrated by Bill Gates and his vaccination worldwide anti-malaria campaign that he's doing right now?
Don't let his glasses fool you.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. I'm going 2 pipes. It is when they say anything is possible. In this case, this is a definite possibility. I can't go 3 pipes though. 3 pipes, because if this is the case, if the Bill and what is it, Melinda? And
Gates Foundation.
Yeah, the Gates Foundation, and their efforts to get malaria out of Africa and their whole vaccination. If they have the machine in place to do something this sinister, right? So there's that part. The second part is, why would Bill? I mean, the guy brought us Windows. He is the reason why you and I are talking on the radio right now. That's because of Bill Gates. Let's not lose sight of what he has brought to the world. He brought us Windows, man. He brought us DOS. And you got to give him so much credit. But could he really be that guy? Man, I'm going to vaccinate the world. I'm going to make more money. I'm going to patent the vaccination. And I'm going to scare the crap out of everybody. I'm going to scare them. Coronavirus can kill you. And the only way to avoid death is to get my vaccine and Windows 12. I mean, right? Could it be? I'm going to go 2 pipes, bro. I'm going to go 2 pipes. It's possible. It's possible.
In conspiracy world, you need a villain. And Bill Gates could definitely play the role of the villain in conspiracies. And that's why I was going to say 1.5, but I'll give it 2 pipes.
Yeah, I know. Got to go 2 pipes. I watched a bunch of clips that was sent to me. Bill Gates being interviewed on one of the big networks out there. And I'm watching the interview and I'm like, Bill, what a nice guy. Just a nice guy. Is that how you would do it? Right? Would you put on the mask? Right? Would you put on the mask? Is he clever enough to pull it off?
Also when it comes to the conspiracy mind, once you've reached that level of wealth and you've reached that level of being in those elite circles, you're compromised and you have to go with their agenda no matter what their agenda is.
Yeah,
and that's the way a lot of conspiracy theorists look.
That's right. They scare you with death. Right? They scare you with death. And then they go, but you don't have to worry about it if you just take this shot. Oh, yes. Man, what do you do? Especially if you have kids. I mean, what do you do? I mean, Bill Gates brought us DOS. DOS was just a clone of C. Yes, we know that. Cassandra is very, very smart. He bought DOS for $40,000. Wow. That is, that's the thing. $40,000. I think it was 40. It might have been 50,000. Think about the amount of money he made on that business deal. On that alone, Bill Gates is my hero. That's right. I said it. I'm going to take a break right here. This is Fade to Black. Our guest tonight, Jason Quitt. Tonight is Quittspiracy 3. That's right. And tonight we're doing coronavirus. I've got so much more. So does Jason. And we'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal God, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Why is it we're not very good with our health regimen until it's too late? We don't put oil in the car until the engine blows up. When the body's out of balance, your health is not so good. Give your body some love. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Try our Life Change Tea, which cleanses you from harmful intruders. A clean colon is one of the ways to bring the body in balance. We also carry organic supplements to help you get where you need to go. So do your body a favor. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. You can even visit our sales page to save some dough. Does anybody call money dough anymore? Anyway, if you're looking for short, helpful health tips, go to YouTube and punch in Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. So, log on to getthetea.com, shop, get balanced, then learn some cool tips at Health Matters Now. You'll be glad you did. That's getthetea.com.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRAradio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon Coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
So, are you tired of being tired? Well, then it's time to get the tea. Hey, it's Lisa here to tell you about this all-natural, all-organic tea I've been drinking that has had great results for over 20 years. It's called Life Change Tea, and it's specially formulated to help detoxify and cleanse your kidneys, liver, colon, and blood all at once. The colon is one of the most ignored organs in the human body. The faster that waste is eliminated from the body, the less time that waste sits in our intestines, spreading toxins to our bloodstream. This tea helps cleanse chemicals caused by outside intruders from our entire digestive system. And get this, weight loss can be a side effect. And with continued use of the tea, you can experience clearer, healthier, younger looking skin, increased energy, and a happier outlook on life. So if you're tired of being tired, get the Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. And like me, you'll be glad you did.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
All right, welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Rita said, I just called Bill Gates my hero. I just said it might be the most amazing business deal ever made. He bought DOS, by the way, from, my memory is correct, he bought it from a community college teacher up in Palo Alto. They needed an operating system, and they didn't have one. And they needed this for a variety of different reasons, one of them being Apple. And he was working with Jobs at the time. And he said, yeah, of course we have an operating system. They didn't. They were writing code out of the hotel in Texas and Houston or Dallas, wherever they were. And they turned around and they went back and they knew that, back from their computer group back at the time, not to dwell on this, but somebody had an operating system back there, and it was called DOS, for Dumb Operating System. They went back, found the guy, and said, hey, and they went in, Steve Ballmer and Gates and somebody else went in and said, look, man, we'll buy that operating system from you for $40,000 or $60,000. And that was a big chunk of money. And they bought it outright. And they turned around, modified it, turned it into a Microsoft DOS, and the rest, they say, is history. And there you go. Well, man. So it's one of those statements where you just kind of have to stop, rewind, and listen to what I just said again. Yes, they bought DOS for $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, and built Microsoft on that. And that
that community college teacher didn't get any royalties. He just got the money. So there you go. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. Okay. Oh, here's one of the biggest conspiracy theories going all over the web right now, and it is this: that 150 CEOs have resigned from the biggest corporations over the last month because they knew in advance about the virus conspiracy that was about to take over the world. You've read it. You've seen it, Jason. What are your comments?
CEOs are always getting out of their positions. They get big payoffs. They get big perks. There has been a lot of people recently that have gone out of their corporations, but it's not out of the ordinary. In fact, the main people usually stay in this job between 2 to 5 years, I think. It's not a long position. It's usually a position where they get their money and they get out. Usually. So
you're saying any given month, any year, if you go and analyze that 30-day period, you're going to find CEOs resigning from major corporations all the time anyway.
Yes. This time, it is a little strange because there may have been some type of forewarning, because it is a lot of high-level CEOs leaving at this time. So did they know? I don't know, because a lot of these companies, especially the economy, is going to suffer. And because they have left just in the nick of time, they will not suffer. So we got to scratch our heads a little and say, how and why are these top people leaving their positions just before the market's crashing? Did they know something?
Yeah, and part of this conspiracy theory is that these 150 high-level CEOs split town and they headed for their underground bunker, somewhere in Kansas.
Yes. And an interesting thing about this is, I was joking around today with someone about this, that if you would say, who is the cabal, who is the elites running the world, you would have to say that it's usually men in that elite men ages 70 and up. Those are the people right now that are running the world, like Kissinger's and Soros and all these people. Now, if they knew about this before, let's say it didn't break to the media yet, but the elite people, they heard that there's a pandemic coming and it will affect them, they will do anything in their power to stay in power. So they're probably running scared to their bunkers right now because this coronavirus can get to them and they could die from it. And that's the last thing that these so-called elite want. So in my mind, I'm looking at it as fear, is that they may have been warned before and they got out of Dodge to their bunkers just to wait it over with. Because they knew that this could affect them.
Don't forget, Bill Gates just quit, right?
Yeah.
And now, is Bill Gates at his home, or is he at his secret underground bunker? Does he have a ticket to Cheyenne Mountain? Right. I'm gonna go full conspiracy theory on this. I'm going to say this, that the 150 CEOs, if that number is accurate, seems like it's a pretty high number for the month of March. I'm going to say that the CEOs resigning because of coronavirus and the downturn of the economy, I'm going to go 3 pipes, maybe even 4. That is absolutely a reason to quit your company and to go home and spend time with your family instead of running some company. You've already made all the money that you need to make for many lifetimes over. The other part of this conspiracy theory about these CEOs packing up and leaving town and heading for their bunkers, if I had a bunker to head to right now that in the middle of Kansas, 300 feet underground, and broadcast Fade to Black from there, Rita and I might have done that, taken our family with us, packed up the cars and headed for the hills if we had that. So I'm going to go I'm gonna go 3 pipes on that too as well.
I'm gonna go 3 pipes as well.
But hold on. Okay, so you went 3 pipes as well. But there's a third part to this conspiracy theory. Did they do it because the Illuminati is taking over the world and they're going to down the population of the earth by 90%? And this is part of some big Illuminati conspiracy theory and puppet master run with the CEOs, and that they are part of this. I'm going 1 pipe. I'm not buying into that part of it.
I mean, there are conspiracy theorists that will get into Agenda 21.
Yes.
And they will say that this is absolute proof that this is happening. I can't say for sure, but I do know that when it comes to these elite group of CEOs, they definitely talk and they definitely know news and things that are happening before we do. So they may have got a whiff of this and just decided to take a hike. Do I think it's an Illuminati thing?
Right.
Personally, I've been hearing Illuminati conspiracies since the beginning. And I mean, the beginning when I started studying conspiracies, and most of those things that I've heard in the past have never come to fruition.
Okay, so you're going to go 1 pipe there.
Yes.
And now, what about this, since we are on this point? What about George Soros, the Rothschilds, and Agenda 21 are to blame for the outbreak?
It's very easy to say that. Because this is something where population is an issue.
Yep.
Global resources is an issue, and the economy is an issue.
Right.
And all those factors are in this type of Agenda 21, Soros, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, all these people. So it's very easy for conspiracy theorists to say this is a sign that what we've been saying all this time is 100% true. And that's also very dangerous as well to say that, because we don't know. I think these guys are shaking in their boots because they have 1 foot out the door already. You know, if they get sick, it's game over for these people. So they might be in their bunkers on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go, I don't know if they're to blame for the outbreak, but it certainly seems to fit the agenda that they've had on the table. I've got to go, I'm going to go in the middle. I'm going to go 2.5 pipes. I can't go 3. I want it to be 3. That would answer a lot of questions. I'm going to go 2.5 pipes.
Yeah, and I'll go 2. I'm more of an optimist when it comes to this, that this was just a coincidence that's playing into their hand.
Yeah, it's too many coincidences here, though. Too many. That's a hard sell for me. I'm going 2.5 pipes. And staying on this theme here, what about the conspiracy theory that there is a vaccine or a cure for coronavirus, but that the government won't release it?
From what I've read right now with the research, even the research that was done in 2015 on the coronavirus, they were saying that the proteins in this coronavirus, there would not be an acceptable vaccination even back then. So in my mind, I think the vaccination wouldn't work. Just like the vaccines have a small percentage of successes just with the normal flu vaccine, because the virus will always mutate.
But that is if it is a normal coronavirus and it is all natural. But if this is a bioweapon and was engineered and they knew about it in advance, wouldn't there have been a vaccine that was prepped at that time?
I think if you're at that level of, we'll call the cabal, at that top level of the elite families, and they knew this was coming, I think they would have had a backup plan and had a vaccine ready or something that would keep them from getting this virus.
Okay, so there is a vaccine, there is a cure, but the government won't release it. 1 pipe, 2 pipe, 3 pipe, 4.
At this point, I'm going to say 2.5.
Yeah, I'm going 2.5 too. I'm going 2.5. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But if it's a bioweapon, if it was engineered in advance, right? This was a man-made, created virus, then there would have to be a vaccine or a cure. The cure being for COVID-19. All right, yes. And I'm watching this. I think everybody is leaning on our side with this too as well. It's let's see. Kevin Corbett just said Soros, Rothschild's Agenda 21, 2 pipes. He's going 2 pipes. He didn't go 2.5. Who found? We found who that face touching studying was done on. Okay. I'm not gonna repeat that, but that is a great, awesome Twitter meme right there. Okay. Next, what? Dean Koontz. Dean Koontz predicted the coronavirus in his 1981 novel, The Eyes of Darkness. Okay, I posted that up when everybody else started talking about this, and the pages were sent to me. I posted it up there right away. I wasn't the first, but I was dang close to it. And as it turned out, that yes, Dean Koontz did write about it. Before I ask you about your pipe rating, let's see, is that there were no similarities behind, because he called it Wuhan 400, which was a strange coincidence because of the Wuhan connection. But it wasn't called COVID-19 or coronavirus. But unlike COVID-19, which has about a 2 to 3% fatality rate right now, it's pushing a little higher than that, though. Wuhan 400 killed 100% of its victims, and by creating a toxin that eats away at brain tissue, rendering victims without a pulse. And it was instantaneous, right? People died within hours. That is not the case with coronavirus or COVID-19. What do you think about this conspiracy theory that Dean Koontz knew about it and wrote about it in his 1981 novel, The Eyes of Darkness? What say you, Jason Quitt?
I don't think he knew anything about it at that time period, but I think that maybe those topics were talked about back in that day, and that's what inspired him. But a lot of people that write books, I would say they get a lot of inspiration from spirit, from dreams, and they're just like, they have the muse through them. And sometimes they'll get an idea that is a future prophecy, and we see this in a lot of books.
I also want to, at the bottom of the hour, in 10 minutes, I'm going to open up the phone lines, 747-228-2051. If you have a coronavirus conspiracy theory that you want to share with us, I'm going to open up the phone lines. Okay? And that's it. We're going to be limited on calls and time. So if you have a coronavirus theory and you want a pipe rating on it, then call in at the bottom of the hour. I will open up the phone lines. I'm not going to do that now. I want everybody to have a fair shot at it. Okay, next one. And this happens, it seems like The Simpsons, Jason, knew a lot about the future. They just did.
Yeah.
So many things have popped up in The Simpsons. And without getting into all of those, because there seems like there's hundreds of them. But now the conspiracy theory is, once again, that The Simpsons predicted the coronavirus allegedly from a 1993 episode that was called Marge in Chains. What do you make of this?
I think that The Simpsons definitely has some type of time travel technology. I'm just going to go 4 pipes all in on Simpsons.
Yeah, you go. Okay. You know what? I'm going 4 pipes there too. I'm going 4 pipes, and there's a reason for it. And if you go back to September 11th, or how about Trump standing there with the Saudi royal family? Oh, man. So anyway, there's all of that. There's that part of it. But in the episode, Marge in Chains, she gets an illness called the Osaka flu. Now, the Osaka flu is from Japan. It's not from China, but it's still Asian, right? It's got that Asian flavor to it. And it does seem prophetic at this point. And it was back in 1993. There's a couple of errors in the memes that were presented, and I think it was intentional. She holds up a sign that says coronavirus. It doesn't say coronavirus. And it was taken from another episode. And I think it said, I can't remember what the sign said, but people say it said coronavirus. It said something else. But I'm with you. 4 pipes on The Simpsons predicting the future.
I definitely think so. And it was Osaka flu and from Japan, but, it is very, very similar. And then we can also say that it's one of the longest running cartoons out there, and they basically have to think of every possible thing to continually create content. But the coincidences are outstanding.
Now, we're getting close to the bottom of the hour, and I will open up the phone lines at that point. I've got so many other theories here. Let's go with this one next. That COVID-19 is caused and spread because of the new 5G wireless technology that is being turned on around the world. I know you've read and seen all of the theories behind this. What do you think is going on, Jason?
Well, these things are based on truth at the beginning, and 5G, millimeter wave, microwave radiation, electromagnetic fields, these things that are pulsing at us all the time, they do cause symptoms. They can cause heart palpitations, shortness of breath, fatigue, sleeping issues. And what's worse about these devices is that it causes oxidative stress of the cells. And what oxidative stress does is it lowers your immune system. So having these antennas up close to you, 5G, Wi-Fi, cell phone towers, all these things, it does cause oxidative stress on the body. It does cause inflammation. And by doing that, you lower your immunity, so you are more susceptible to viruses and bacteria.
The other part about this, if you want to focus on and look at the 5G wireless aspect of this and the timing of it being turned on around the world, if that is the case, then every other conspiracy theory that we read tonight, and we've gone through, 20, the rest of them don't come into play. And that's where it gets a little iffy for me.
Yes. And I personally believe that these 5G antennas are dangerous to public health. I am under that mindset. And I think it could enable us to get sicker. So in that regard, I think, I would definitely go with 2 pipes on that one.
I've got time for a couple of more before the bottom of the hour, and then I'll open up the phone lines. Let's see. This is a cover for mass arrests that have already started in Italy and Peru.
Sorry for laughing.
Okay, there you go. So that's a 1 pipe. That's a 1 pipe.
This is a huge conspiracy, by the way, going all over the internet. This is massive, and I see this every single day, 100 times a day, that the coronavirus is basically a shield or a blackout so that high-level people will be arrested around the planet. And I just can't see that happening. I just can't see it. I think it's part of a narrative of an agenda and has nothing to do with COVID-19.
There you go. I'm going 1 pipe too. I've been hearing about these mass arrests for the better part of 10 years. And okay, I'm going one pipe there. Let's move on to the next one. What about $30 trillion of stolen money has been found, and everyone is about to get a check? What do you make of that?
I would say that's absolutely lovely, and I'll be waiting for my check. Yeah. But this goes back to the early 90s with Nasera. And this is a constant conspiracy that has been with us for 30 years almost 30 years.
Right.
And it keeps coming back. It keeps coming back and forth. And every time there's a stimulus, every time there's a problem, every time there's an event that happens in our world, suddenly you get all these conspiracies that the Fed is going to end, that everybody is going to get what they deserve, which is their inheritance from their birth certificate. And there's trillions and trillions of dollars that will enter into the public domain's bank accounts, and everybody will be rich. And if that was the case, and I'll just put this out there, if that was actually true, the moment every person in North America or the world receives, let's say everybody in the world receives $1 million at once, every single person, it would destroy the value of money. That million would just be zero.
Yeah, it would be worth nothing. Okay, let's go to the last two. Okay, so from the right and the far right, it's that this is a hoax against President Trump to crush the economy just in time for the elections. 1 pipe, 2 pipe, 3 pipes, 4.
I think it's very selfish of them to think that. I think that holds no water whatsoever, that it has anything to do with Trump. This is a worldwide event, and yes, it has problems with the economy and it could cause a lot of strife. But to single it out, saying this is a conspiracy just for Trump and his election, I think is completely out there with 1 pipe.
Okay, and the next part of this, which is this. From the left and the far left, Trump will use this to cancel the elections and stay in office.
I don't know if is that even legal? Can that actually happen is what I'm trying to. If it's legal and it could actually happen, it might be a possibility. But the way the elections have been going and the way that, they've been trying to get Trump out of office and the impeachment and all these things, I see a very strong election coming forward, no matter if they have to do it over social media instead of gathering in public.
That's right. So you're going 1 pipe. So both of these, not only do they cancel each other out, neither of them make much sense. It doesn't matter. And so you're going 1 pipe on both? I am. I'm just letting everybody know now. Whether you're on the right or whether you're on the left, both of these conspiracy theories just don't hold water. So I'm going 1 pipe on both.
Completely agree.
Yeah, there you go. Let's take our break right here. And when we come back, I'm going to open up the phone lines. 747-228-2051. If you have a conspiracy theory that we didn't mention tonight, we want to hear from you. And we will give you a pipe rating. It's Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. We'll be right back after this short break. 747-228-2051. I'll be right back.
Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of FadeToBlack, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the FadeToBlack blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of FadeToBlack. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is FadeToBlack blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. You know, there's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to ancientlifeoil.com. That's ancientlifeoil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to ancientlifeoil.com. That's ancientlifeoil.com.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app. Free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Quittspiracy 3 with Jason Quitt, live from Toronto, Canada. Tomorrow night, live from New York City, right here on Fade to Black, Mitch Horowitz. You're not going to want to miss that show. And then Wednesday night, I can't believe it, Andrea Perrin is going to be here to talk about her family, the movie The Conjuring, which is based on her family and her family's life and her life, the film franchise, and, of course, her trilogy of books that she has written, and House of Darkness, House of Light, and what actually may have been going on, not only there, but throughout her life since then. And it's going to be an amazing show, and that goes down Wednesday night. Tonight, it is Jason Quitt. Jason, this is Quittspiracy 3. What an amazing show and conversation. I have got an absolute full slate of phone calls here that we've got to get through, and I'm pretty excited to hear what the Fadernauts out there have for their version of conspiracy theories that they feel should be rated on the pipe system. You ready to get to it?
Let's do this.
All right. Let's let me get time. You know, I log all of my calls, and I got to start here. Okay. You're up first. Who's calling?
What's up, Jamie? What's up, Jason? This is David Walker from Georgia, baby. How you doing?
What's up, David? How are you?
I'm doing great, my man. Doing good. How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing great. Good to hear from you.
All right,
awesome.
David.
You too, my man.
What's your coronavirus conspiracy theory that you want rated tonight?
Absolutely. Check this out. Okay, I've just read this. Okay, October 5th of 2019, in northeast China, there's a meteorite that exploded in the sky a little after midnight, right? And a lot of people are saying it might have carried a virus or carried some space-borne, something that we haven't had on Earth yet. And I kind of thought about that. I'm like, well, that's kind of strange because last year, quite a few people I know got very sick for some reason. And I just, that popped in my head when I saw that. I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect to ask you guys.
Yes.
And so, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to go right there. And Jason, before you give your rating, let's say, and I read about this, okay? I did. I got to give David credit for bringing this back to our attention. If a meteorite, which means it contacted Earth, right? You have a meteor, then a meteorite. If a meteorite crashed in China, in and around Wuhan on October 5th, and that part of it can be vetted and verified, I'm going 3 pipes. I'm going
man.
I'm going 3 pipes. Jason, where are you going?
I love this one. This is like the alien virus coming to Earth.
Absolutely.
This could definitely be a movie.
The Andromeda strain, right? It's like for real. Okay, where are you going? 1 pipe, 2 pipe, 3 pipes, 4?
I'm going to go right to 1 pipe, and I'll tell you why. Just because they can trace this directly back to the horseshoe bat population.
David, right. I'm with you, David. I'm with you. See, the problem that we have with Jason is right now in Toronto, he's smoking that pipe, and that's the problem. That's the problem we have. Hey, David, enjoy your night, man. We'll see you here tomorrow. Go Beckley Tepe.
Yes, sir. And River Moon coffee, always. I love it, baby.
Thank you, David. You're absolutely right. Thank you so much.
You too.
That's a great phone call right there, Jason. And I think you bummed everybody out. You got a great alien conspiracy. It's laid out there in front of you, and you just want to just shoot it down.
Hey, that would make the most amazing movie. I think there is a movie like that.
Yeah, I just said.
Yeah.
The Andromeda strain. Okay, I'm putting calls on hold. When you go on hold, stay right there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to everybody. I'm going to try to, though. Let's go lightning round. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, this is Mark from Oregon, Jimmy.
Hey, Mark from Oregon. Say hi to Jason. What's your coronavirus conspiracy theory?
Okay, here it is in a nutshell. One of the scientists who got the Nobel Prize for HIV research transmitted. He spliced up DNA into tiny little pieces like they do with a CRISPR-5 technology. Shipped it over to another lab halfway around the world, and then caused the HIV virus to reformulate just by broadcasting the frequency of the virus through the phone line. So we use the same shredded DNA, RNA in our vaccines. And in fact, the CDC posts they're having trouble getting these cancer-causing shredded viruses out of the vaccines, and they admit that they're there. So if you can, in fact, reassemble shredded DNA into a live virus, then maybe that's why President Trump wants to get these Huawei chips out of our 5G system and our computer systems in the United States so that they can't remotely trigger the formulation in human bloodstreams just using 5G technology anywhere they want.
Okay, so what's the conspiracy theory, though?
Oh, the conspiracy is that would be that the vaccine, it's not the coronavirus itself, but the vaccine itself would be a more powerful delivery system for this technology to deliver an even worse virus.
I'm not sure if I follow you, Mark. Although you scare the crap out of me with what you're saying. That part of it. But what would be the conspiracy theory?
Well, the conspiracy theory would be the same one as the Georgia Guidestones, that we have a group of people who are assembled who don't share our same belief systems, who are basically what most people would consider to be demonic, the type of people who would torture someone before they ate their adrenal gland so that they could get the most out of it for a rush and a high, because that's part of their religious belief.
So that your conspiracy theory that you're suggesting is that the coronavirus was implemented, man-made, done deliberately for population control by the elite as per the instructions and warnings that are on the Georgia Guidestones and other things that have been out there in the public.
Absolutely, and that is what the whole Chapel University thing was about. That they already had scientists from Wuhan that were there, and they had paid for that study. So once they got the original COVID-19 virus to Chapel Hill, then once they worked on it, they were able to take it back to their level 4 lab in Wuhan and splice whatever they wanted to into it. Now, I honestly do not believe that they released this intentionally, but I do believe it came out of that lab after it had been spliced so that it was a more virulent bioweapon.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, Mark. Jason, 1 pipe, 2 pipes, 3 pipes, 4.
Well, there is a Russian scientist who did experiments with that. I believe it was in the 90s, where he was using UV light to transfer information to recode DNA. So it's highly possible. And then he experimented with microwaves, and we use the microwave spectrum in the 5G and Wi-Fi networks. So it was possible back then to experiment to actually change and alter the DNA. So what you're actually saying is based in fact and reality. Is it possible? That's a huge grand conspiracy, and I'm just going to go 2 pipes on that one. It could be possible, but I'm not sure if it's likely at this point.
Well, the problem that I have in going 2 pipes and not, say, 3 or maybe even 4 pipes is that the Georgia Guidestones have been there mysteriously for a very long time, and we've been trying to figure out exactly what is going on. And what is happening now, this crazy science fiction movie that we find ourselves in a weird way, if the coronavirus isn't wrapped up soon and we clamp down on it, is this what the Georgia Guidestones has been warning us about? I'm not exactly comfortable with that. And the Georgia Guidestones were built, were taken care of, where the taxes were paid. It's on a plot of land, and it was mysteriously constructed and by a pseudonym, and the donations and they were made and they were erected. That it just seems funky to me. My conspiracy side has always raised an eyebrow when it comes to the Georgia Guidestones. And before we run out of play here, I'm gonna go 2 pipes on Mark. I can't go 3, but it just seems like something else is in play here. Why bring down the world economy of every country? Why kill so many innocent people? Why cause all of this unemployment? Or why crash the stock markets? Why take all of this into play if it all could have been controlled from the word go, unless there's something else going on at an economic level? And that's the part that David Icke talked about last week on this show. Let's get back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Well, hi, Jimmy. This is Kay from Detroit, and hi, Jason, over there in Toronto. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Good to hear you're okay over there. Just 2 things. One, on the election cancellation. If there's a martial law that's in place in the United States, the president that's the president stays the president until there's no more martial law or there's another election that's set up so that's possible. If there was a martial law during the time of his election, he would stay president.
Yeah, it would make him the most unpopular president in known history, though. I mean, that wouldn't. I don't think that. Yeah, that wouldn't benefit anybody's reelection.
No, but he doesn't care because he'll still be the president.
What, for another 6 months until we hold an election? I don't know. It seems backwards to me.
I know, but so there's a lot of things right now. And just my other question real quick, because I know you have other callers. And No, there's no such thing as half pipes on pipe night.
Oh, no half.
No half pipes. Got to get out the fence. It's either 2, 3, or 4, or come up with pipe 5. But no half pipes. We were discussing it on.
Okay, and I agree with you. So we should have
rules.
We should have 5 pipes, and then pipe number 3 is in the middle.
Absolutely.
So we can waffle. We can officially
then you
waffle.
can be on the fence and be legal.
Yeah, we can waffle. Thank you so much, Kay.
one more.
Quick.
The phones are supposed to go down for 3 days, and the internet right before Good Friday.
Ain't gonna happen.
A pipe on this.
Ain't gonna happen. 1 pipe.
And 911 calls only. Is that 1, 2, 3, or 4 pipes?
Yeah, 1 pipe. Ain't gonna happen.
Okay.
Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna happen. If the internet gets shut down, that means cell phones and satellites and everything else.
But they said for the reason is to do an upgrade on the internet and the phone lines, which sounds like it could be a 5G conspiracy.
Yeah, right.
So.
I can come up with a better conspiracy than that. I mean,
I'm
that's just weak.
Saying what's out there.
Yeah, I know it's out there. I know it's out there. So 3 days of internet blackout. I'm going 1 pipe. Jason, what say you?
I'm going to go 1 pipe, and this is extremely old conspiracy that just keeps getting recirculated every year at least. I hear this.
Yeah.
But it's been out there, so it's not like I'm hearing, wild stories. But that is true about the martial law. So I don't know. It could happen, right before that. If it's in place and he's still the president, then he stays the president, and then he can do what he wants.
There you go.
Thanks
Kay.
for taking my call. Go Beckley Tappy.
Go Beckley Tappy. That's Kay from Detroit. Thank you, Kay. Another great phone call. And the internet 3-day thing. I mean, it's just like, come on. I mean, I myself, with my creative mind, if I wanted to just go and just create stuff for clicks, I could do much better than the 3-day internet lockout. So you want 1 pipe, Jason?
Yes, 1 pipe. I'm just trying to think because there was like 2 or 3 days of darkness years ago in Toronto. And I'm trying to remember the exact date, but some transformer outage.
Yeah, it happened in upstate New York and Toronto. Yeah. Yes, you're absolutely right.
I lived through that. I mean, we cooked on our natural gas fireplace.
Yep. And so did Trudeau, and the country didn't fall. I'm joking.
It was fun. It was fun. We had fun.
Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on FadeToBlack. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Deb. Hi, Jason.
Hi, Deb.
Hi.
Hey, so get this, and this is probably way out there, but who's benefiting most from this lockdown on the planet?
Who's benefiting the most from the lockdown on the planet? Songwriters.
Gaia. Gaia is. Gaia is benefiting Mother
100%,
Earth and
100%.
And wildlife. So here's where I'm going with this.
100%.
Okay, is this going to be used as a springboard for the Green New Deal? Only not the drastic way that they propose, but measures of it over time. So that we've already said, hey, we've been, a lockdown. We've taken the cars off the road. We've seen that we can do this, and we were paid to do it. So is this something that will eventually roll out in the future to limit, everything we normally do? Not as far as socializing, but manufacturing and cars off the road and benefiting the planet and the wildlife and learning us slowly how to restrict ourselves, yet still not starve to death and benefit.
Right. And I'm going to take it one step further, Deb.
Yeah.
And I want everybody to listen to me. All of the pollution that has stopped, right? All of the carbon footprinting that we have done, the planes that aren't taking off, the cruise ships that create 2 or 3 cruise ships off the coast of Europe create more air pollution than all of the cars on all of the roads in all of Europe combined. So you need to think about that for a second. Now, putting that all into play, all of the electricity, everything on this planet right now that has just taken a sudden downturn. What if this triggered the cooling of the planet? What if this alters the global warming? What if this is the shift? And that is Gaia doing its payback. I'm just saying. Isn't that interesting? That's right.
I like that.
That's right. I said it first. I said it first right here on Fade to Black. Everybody note that. 9:50 Pacific Standard Time on Fade to Black. Jimmy came up with a golden nugget. But yeah, I think about that for a second. We had, like 21 days of no pollution. Right? I'm just saying, think about that for a second. It just makes sense.
We're being shown that we can do it.
Well, we're going right back to our old ways in about a month and a half. But could this have triggered?
Over time, change happens over time.
It does. It does.
Maybe it's the beginning.
Could it have started now? And with that, Deb, enjoy your night. Go Beckley Teppy.
Go Beckley Teppy. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Take care, you guys.
There you go. Jason, there's Deb. She loves you, by the way.
Yes.
Deb loves Jason. That's a new TV show. Okay. All right. Let's go to... Let's see who's up next. Man, I got a lot of calls on hold. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Gary from Oregon.
Gary from Oregon. Gary, what's your conspiracy theory about coronavirus that we didn't mention tonight?
I think this is an attempt by China and Russia to take down the dollar as the reserve currency in the world.
It's a possibility, Gary, and I think it should be considered. The problem with it, this is the problem I have with it, Gary, before I throw this over to Jason and we're running out of time, is that what has happened to the price of oil and the petrodollar and currencies right now, it takes that idea out of play. I would love to go, you know what, this is Russia and China making their move. But the move doesn't make any sense because of what oil has done. Russia doesn't have an economy. You think we took a hit? Russia right now is really taking it on the chin, and China too. Jason, what do you make of that? Is this Russia and China trying to remove the dollar and ruin our economy?
If it was, they'd be doing a poor job because the whole world is going to be hit economically.
China's got many years to dig out of this one. But Gary, I agree that we need to keep our eye on Russia and China. And if they wanted to, they have too many resources between those two countries, huge amounts of resources that if they ever wanted to buddy up, they could control the planet. No question about it.
All of our banks own or have debt in the fracking in America. And if they go bankrupt, it's going to cause a lot of credit problems.
Yep, I agree. Fracking is, all of this comes into play, and why?
That's why it's a direct attack on fracking in America.
Yeah, you're right about
Russia and Saudi.
Yeah, you're right. Saudi. But this is where for me that doesn't hold water. I know that the fracking industry has taken a huge hit, and there's going to be a lot of bankrupt companies and unemployed people. No question about it. But Russia Russia is making negative money on every barrel of oil that they pull out of the ground. They're in the same boat that we are. And with nobody buying oil right now, all oil, they're going to have to shut down all oil production because there's no place to put it. There's no place to put it. There's no place to put it. There are no refineries on this planet where you can go right now and start offloading your oil. Everything is full to the brim. Everything is going to be sitting in tankers offshore waiting to offload. And I'm telling you right now, Gary, we are like 2 days away of this being a real issue. There's no place to put the oil now. Russia, India, Saudi Arabia, China, the United States, Venezuela, it does not matter the country. Everybody is full of oil. Trump just said, buy all the cheap oil you can. We're going to fill up all of our reserves. All of our reserves are now full. There's no place to put the oil, shacking or fracking or otherwise. So
Putin just had an interview where he said that I've got my country around the sanctions.
Yeah, I know.
All the sanctions in.
That's right.
And he doesn't. So I don't think he cares anymore.
But
and China holds all the goods, all the supply comes from China, and that'll cause our dollar to be chasing those goods, and it'll cause havoc.
Yeah, but the problem with that, Gary, you're absolutely right. But this is where there's a side to everything. And the other side is, if our economy is destroyed, we buy everything from China. China's economy is based on selling to the United States, not to the rest of the world. They make income from the rest of the world, but not like they do from the United States. Trust me. And if you want to cripple this economy, China goes right along with us. They're not going to make up United States dollars from around the world. And all the economies from around the world are also crushed. It doesn't make any sense. And like I've said, we are up against the ending of the show, Gary. I want to thank you for an absolutely brilliant phone call. I'm going to say what I've always said. We're not going to understand things for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, maybe a year. So right now, every idea is on the table. I'm trying to figure it out just like you are. Gary, enjoy your night, my man. Great phone call. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, it's a great phone call. And Jason, let's see here. I'm out of time. Okay, you know what? Let's just say hello to this next caller. Maybe we can get... Hi, who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, this is Forsaken Roa.
Hey, Forsaken, how are you? And literally, we have a minute left. So, Forsaken,
yeah, I know. So
you're special to us. Give me your conspiracy theory on coronavirus.
Okay, it's going to be real country, so I'm not going to be technical, so I apologize, okay? So the Eisenhower, I believe, alien deal or what have you, so what if that deal, the, aliens are, up what they wanted? So instead of just, abducting humans from the planet, they wanted something more, the government or whoever is on the other end of that deal was like, well, wait a minute now. So they are this virus this specialized virus was created to lessen the goal of what the aliens were after.
Yeah, there you go. And thank you, Forsaken. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Go. I'm sorry, but go by TP. That's the best I could do. Sorry.
Go Beckley P. She's got to go pee. Thank you, Forsaken. Have a great night.
Welcome. Bye. Fade of love.
That's what I'm talking about. It's a great phone call. Okay, Jason, 1 pipe, 2 pipe, 3 pipe, 4. Coronavirus is an alien thing. You got 5 seconds.
I'll say 2 pipes.
2 pipes. I'm going 2 pipes too. Could be alien, and it also could be a meteorite from China. Jason, stay right there. I got to roll credits. This is Fade to Black, another great show with Jason Quitt. This was Conspiracy 3. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Camarion. Show is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitola, Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. This broadcast owned and copyrighted 2020 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tomorrow night, right here, live from New York City, Mitch Horowitz. Until then, Jason Quitt says what? What, Jason?
4 pipes?
4 pipes. Jason Quitt live from Toronto. Jason, go Beckley Tappy.
Go Beckley Tappy.
I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Until tomorrow night, everybody be safe. Jason said it. Go Backley Tappy.